Hello, everybody. How you doing? This is Pete, also known as Lord PeteyTV, here to give you my last little bit of information of what I think is going on with this season 4 Faded Affects type raid situation. So in the first video, I talked about Mythic Pluses. The second one, I spoke about Faded raids. Now, this video is one where I think this is where Blizzard is going with it. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why do you care? What's going on with this situation? So, I'm gonna like lean back here and chill here, so we can talk about it. It's late right now, but I wanted to make sure I got these recorded so I can get this information to you. So, Blizzard is taking this season as a break kind of test season. I think that what they want to try and see is what people are going to enjoy doing. Are they going to enjoy doing old content again? They're looking right now, what is the least amount of work possible for us to keep people and players playing? So things we have to take a moment to think about, okay? Um Mythic pluses. They are challenging. They scale to a person's level of difficulty. They are rewarding, and they are very much can be helpful to getting ready for raid. With raids, they are once again very rewarding. They are more challenging than Mythic Pluses, and they are what I feel like you when you down a boss, it's this feeling of like pure excitement and joy. Whereas I don't have that with Mythic Pluses, so that's why I think Blizzard wants to keep people playing. Now, like we spoke about before, where Mythic Pluses are right now, as a whole, I feel are pretty good. They're okay. I would say, 8 out of 10. Uh, you know, I think that they are strong, but the way to gap those last 2 points is to not be required to be the best of the best by needing stuff from Mythic Raid, as we spoke about. As for Raid right now, I feel as a whole, not counting season 4, I think that it is I think it's very one-sided when they create the raids. And I think that they create the raids and they pushed out the raids this particular season to um to deal with race to a world first, and just started nerfing stuff when people were having problems with it. Prime example, Halandris, um Anduin, just off the top of my head, they did a couple of bosses also in Sanctum. I think they nerfed Sylvanas while they were doing Race to World first. So it's like you have these situations where they took and they nerfed them and kind of went going with it. Now, with season 4, with the Faded Affixes, they are taking literally the stuff that they worked on for 2 years. It's almost been 2 years since the game came out, and they're just rotating the boss. They're rotating everything again. They're just going, here you go, take care of it. Here's here's the rotation of the raids. Um, and we're just gonna put these mutations in there, cause a little more havoc. Here you go. And this world tour of raids, um, I think it's too soon, if you will. Um, I also personally feel that there was supposed to be a fourth raid this this expansion, and I think that they decided, because of everything with the Activision, with the Activision Blizzard lawsuits, and I think because of the acquisition with Microsoft, they decided to ix the last season, and they decided to smack the end of those bosses onto um Sepulchre, the first one. I still feel to this day that Anduin was the intended last boss of Sepulchre. I feel that they said they were in a room. They said, "Hey, we have to cut budget. We can't get all this stuff out. What are we gonna do?" And they were like, "Hey, let's beat Anduin, throw him through a portal, throw him to this location. We're gonna throw in the Dreadlords. Let's throw them in there. And then we're gonna go and we're gonna throw this guy called Rygalon. Let's throw him there. Yeah. And then okay, now let's throw the Jailer. I don't remember if I'm missing a boss right now. It's very late, but my brain's a little scrambled. And then they ended up throwing the Jailer in there because they needed the Jailer to be the last boss. So I feel like that was rushed, and they needed to cover the gap. And to cover the gap, they said, "This is a good idea." I think to an extent, it's a good idea. If you go back to the previous videos, I think that you'll see and understand where I'm coming at exactly from that information. That's why I'm doing this all back to back, so I don't forget my info. I think that with them seeing how the rotations of raids and things are working, that's really good. I think that also having a faded rotation could also help prevent a guild from having burnout. I feel that it could also prevent a guild from having from disbanding. Excuse me. So what I think they could possibly do in the future, and what I think that Blizzard's kind of why they're holding onto their cards when it comes to the information on this stuff. I think that they're not telling anybody exactly what they want to do because they still don't know what they're going to do yet. I think that them having a rotation, and I said this, and I got mocked. I think that if you end up having a problem like Painsmith, a lot of guilds hate Painsmith, and you're wiping on them over and over and over and over and over again, but you have a faded raid with equal gear, but a different dungeon. Let's just throw it out there. I'm gonna make it easy. Let's say you have like I don't know, Blackrock Foundry. Let's make Blackrock Foundry the faded raid for that week. Right? You're slamming on Painsmith for 2 days. You can feel the guild morale dying. And you know what you say? You say, "Hey, let's go to Blackrock Foundry. You know, we know what we got to do there because we've been there before. We've done this before. Let's see if we can down a couple of guys. And let's see what we can do." And you can kind of do that. And you have those affixes or whatever, mutations or whatever you want in there with the faded raids. It could help, it could hurt. But at the same time, you don't have to keep your guild just slamming against the wall. I also think that the I think that Blizzard itself, because they've been doing Warcraft for so long, and there's so much content out there in the game that's just a waste. It's just not being used. Like Zolgarub. When was the last time you ran that? I'm talking retail. Like, when was the last time you ran Blackwing Lair or AQ40? Like, or Jade Temple, or what is it, Jade Serpent or whatever, and all the dungeons. I mean, there's so many dungeons, there's so many raids. I mean, I just Black Temple. Like, when was the last? Like, I think that they need to figure out a way to reuse that stuff, and I think that that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to figure out a way to repurpose this because they can end up saving some money. They can end up preventing burnout. They can prevent people from leaving the game. I think that they have a lot of different things that they could do. Now, we know in Dragonflight they already announced that they're only adding a couple of new dungeons and the rest are old dungeons. So they're going to be ending up doing that. So it looks like they're going to start reusing content to allow people to kind of evolve better into this next season. I'm really interested to see, what Dragonflight's going to be bringing, and we have beta access, so hopefully we can end up getting some beta access in the next couple of, next week or two, and kind of just playing some and seeing what's happening, and we'll just use max level characters for that. Play some hunter, play some rogue, play some, what's it called, druid. We'll go through healers, mistweaver. We'll do some stuff. But anyway, I digress. But I just hope that in the end, Blizzard takes the time to really put their players first. And I'm not talking about the top 10 raiders, not the race for world first people, but the players that are, the core in the middle, not only those top the world top 10, because I feel like we got really slammed when we were first progressing because they ended up having the race for world first players, theories behind them. But in the end, I think that, we persevered and we're doing, generally well. And, I'm happy with our progression. In a nutshell. So anyway, I want to say thanks again, everybody, for listening to the videos. Make sure you hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. If you are coming to us and watching Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you check us out between 3 and 11 on Monday through Friday. We run Mythic Pluses, we run raids. My policy is trying to get everybody a 15 by the end of the week. So, we're trying to do lots of different things, but all in all, thank you so much. I appreciate you all for listening to my rambling. If you have any theories, you have, any questions, if you think I'm just an ass, just put it in the comments below. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Dream big, keep gaming. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Love you all. Bye, everybody.